So, well, I think I was accurate in my last video. I will give Godless Engineer some credit, or at least I appreciate the fact, or I do give him the credit that he actually will speak to somebody who does not necessarily agree with his outcome. And he, well, also, one, he doesn't use Edward Gibbon, somebody who had extremely limited access to sources because he lived 300 years ago in England. There are 200 and some odd in England, and was very biased. Even the people of his own time considered him extremely biased, and so do pretty much everybody today who reads Gibbon or who has read Gibbon. This is unlike Deity Free D, who any slight disagreement with her will bring you charges of you're insane, you're crazy. This is coming from a lady who admittedly spent the vast majority of her life, she's now in her 50s or 60s, as a Christian, which is an apostate from Islam, and looking at Islam and viewing it as just as very wicked and harmful. I don't mock Muslims. They are my family and friends. Don't speak to them anymore because of the implications that carries. I don't think Deity Free D has ever had a family member threaten them with death, or multiple friends and family members either threaten them with death or saying that it's lucky that the Islamic State isn't here or else you'd be killed. And the Islamic State isn't just something that popped up that used to be ISIS. The Islamic State was always talked about. It's been talked about all throughout the 90s, establishing the Islamic State. Not necessarily this one that took the name Islamic State, but the Deity Free D, she will never concede any point. Even Gambler, the nicest guy on YouTube, will talk to her, and very kind and very tempered tone, and she'll just mocking and vindictiveness and hatred, and again, she is not somebody who came to her atheism in a rational way, and this is probably the most glaring, the most obvious thing about this is that she's completely anti-clerical. There's an emotional and irrational vindictiveness, insidiousness, just mean, cruel, enjoying in others, loss of faith and things like that. Again, I don't believe in proselytizing. I've caused people to become atheists through cracking their view of Christianity, and I don't ever want to do that again, because it's not a good thing. But yeah, Godless Engineer, actually, I don't think he's a mythicist. I honestly do not believe that he's a mythicist. I think he just is just kind of forwarding this just as his own. He seems actually like a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy you go out and get a beer with and, not want to strangle him and like Deity Free D. But I think even after the books that he's read, even the ones that, try to pull the mythicist card, he pretty much realizes, oh wait, there is there obviously is these, you know, these historical accounts. This guy was historical. This guy did exist, because of all the embarrassment that's in the earliest Gospels and even the letters of Paul. Deity Free D asked the question, well, why didn't everybody know who Jesus was? He did all these miracles. Miracle men were a dime a dozen. There's plenty of them that aren't associated with Jesus in any way that are recorded in the New Testament. Some are considered demonic, others are not. The people who cast out demons, who resurrected the dead, just like in Haiti or in rural India, there are god men and witches everywhere. And superstition and magic is a thing of everyday life. Not to mention, he was a backwoods hick, or not hick. He was from a backwater of the Roman Empire, and I mean, even the people of southern Palestine despised the people of northern Palestine. They thought they were the lowest caste of people. People bring up things like, well, he couldn't have been a carpenter because what guy would have a wood shop? And he's not a carpenter. The word's tekton. And it probably applied to stone cutters, which they would need to employ in Sepphoris, half a day's walk away from Nazareth, which, again, looking back on it, makes total sense, because why wouldn't he be a fisherman? Why wouldn't he have a flock of sheep? Why wouldn't he? Oh, because at that certain period, that time, in that short span of time, yeah, you would have tektons all around because of the massive building projects that were going on under Herod, under Roman rule. But yeah, so yeah, Godless Engineer, a good opposition, unlike Deity Free D, who will not hear any criticisms or even questions. Any questions she'll take as an attack.